Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back in with this week's episode and all the physical releases coming to the Switch August the 5th until the 9th. Let's see what we've got this week. Cat Quest 3 is the only retail release this week in the West. What's going on, guys? Everyone else is allergic to cats, it seems. This one looks to be evolving the simple action RPG gameplay, now with sea battles and stuff. Colourful and characterful, something a miserable Brit such as myself is not allowed to enjoy. This might be a fun one to play in 2-player co-op, probably nice playing with your kids or a loved one or someone you don't love. Maybe you found them on the street and want to give them a home, like most of your cats. I'm 30 seconds in and I'm already talking nonsense. Good start. And our executive producers, Precision Play, Issa, Cartoon Soren, Ishin, Dane Wilkinson, Fawn Metal Luna, God of Resin, Alex M, and Instacritic have chosen this as their pick of the week. I don't know what's going on. Am I missing something here? Is the hype train at full speed for this one? I don't know. And if you want it, like these guys do, or any other retail releases, not in this episode because there's nothing else in this episode, but any other video game, then please consider using the links in the description. You can buy from VGP, a fantastic way to support me. They have good prices in very favourable Canadian money. Apparently now it's like even extra favourable or something, because economies. Plus they have free worldwide shipping if you purchase over 80 Canadian bucks worth of stuff. They have lots of great things over there and are my preferred way to pick up retail releases. Plus, if you buy something with my link, then each week you'll be put into a draw with a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Philippe R. Congratulations, Philippe. You should get an email from the VGP if you haven't already with your discount coupon. Alright, the low print releases. It's starting to ramp up, don't worry. But Gaiden is going up for pre-order today from Premium Edition Games. In fact, I think it's right now. Premium Edition Games, you know, the company that I work with. Well, this is an action side-scroller, and as you may guess from the name, it's taken inspiration from Ninja Gaiden. And if you play it, you'll certainly see that inspiration with the difficulty to boot. Thankfully, it's not as difficult as Ninja Gaiden. It doesn't make you want to trap your balls in a clamp, but it'll definitely get you a sweat on. It's a really colourful game full of personality, and I really like the art style. It's kind of like comic book. There's also a Mega Man style progression where you can take on the levels in any order you want, and there's also an essence of speed. The quicker you do it, the easier the boss will be. If you live in the USA, which I know 50% of you watching do, you can pre-order the standard or retro edition from premiumeditiongames.com. If you do pre-order, you get a nice unique dog tag for this game. If you live outside the US, you may want to check out Video Games Plus, who should be carrying some copies not with the dog tag sadly. The standard edition includes a slipcase, full color manual and a challenge card, while the retro edition includes the same stuff but a really nice box, a soundtrack and a bonus item. Chants of Sennaar. It's a bit hard to get excited about this one, considering it already released at retail in North America, but Pix and Love are doing their version. I think the standard edition will be at retail, but they have their special cover version, as well as a very snazzy looking collector's edition, which opens up like an actual ancient artifact. It really does look lovely, and you can pre-order it right now at Pix and Love's website. Little Guardsman is Super Rare's latest Switch release, and this is like Papers, Please if the developer wanted to avoid politics and be silly. It has point-and-click elements filled with humor and childlike wonder. Over 100 people will want to be let in, and you need to deduce if they're going to murder your town or not. Personally, I just North Korea the shit out of it and let no one in. Something like that. There are only 3,000 copies going to be available, so be sure to be there on Thursday if you really want it. And our executive producers, Viz and Brent McLean, have chosen this as their pick of the week. SVC Chaos, a quick mention to this. I talked about this last week with Pix and Love's editions. Well, now it's Limited Run's turn, this time with covered up cleavage. Nobody in North America is allowed to see Mai's cleavage, only pervy people in the rest of the world are allowed to see it. And our executive producer, Louis K, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Alright, we're moving into the import section and it's getting even more exciting. If you want to purchase any of these imports, please consider using the Play Asia links below. If you click those links, you support us as well, plus we can support you too with the discount code Jordan24, which should net you a nice tasty 5% off. Lost Epic is a side-scrolling action game that one may be described as a Metroidvania, kind of. It's also got RPG elements with a fairly free skill tree. The animation looks a little stiff for my liking, but I know this is a popular game, especially when it came out of early access and was fully finished. It looks super snazzy with lots of effects on your attacks and big damage numbers popping up. I think it's going to be a popular import exclusive, lots of content with quests and crafting like fishing. Who doesn't love a good fishing minigame? It has English and is coming in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, which includes a soundtrack, art book and acrylic standee. IGS Classic Arcade Collection is one I've been hoping for a good while. In fact, I even contacted the company on behalf of Premium Edition Games because I thought, this would make an awesome physical. This has a generous collection of 8 arcade games made in Taiwan, most of them very famous in the region, even mainland China. I see them all the time here, especially Knights of Valor. They are mostly beat 'em ups, but yeah, there is some variety in here and I really like them. I know when this Shadow dropped on the eShop, it wasn't the best presented compilation ever, but they fixed the issues with patches and it's great. I played some of them for my 3 Kingdoms game retrospective on A Bit More Jordan, and I'll be happily picking this up on a physical cartridge. It has English, and our executive producer Robotech has chosen this as his pick of the week. He knows what's up, he's not choosing some damn cat pirates. Taboo Trial is the one for the cultured folk this week. I mean, just take a look at the artwork. Some people will be hanging those hangers in a frame on the wall. It's a 3D action roguelike with Norse mythology and maybe a slightly Japanese anime aesthetic. Lots of fighting and action going on. It's a bit similar to their last game, Apex Heroines, also an import exclusive. And this physical edition, which is exclusive to Southeast Asia, has English and also includes DLC costumes. I know it's going to be a super popular import, which to be fair, all it needs to be is like either a JRPG or have big boobs, and you guys can't help yourselves, except apparently when there's a Cat Quest game releasing this week, because nobody's chosen this as their pick of the week. What's going on? Apparently they're not into boobs, they're more into pussy. I can't believe I just said that, it's disgusting. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, ISEKAI Chronicles, is releasing in Japan and Asia this week with English. It's also releasing in Hong Kong, but that does not have English. This is a side-scrolling action game from Bandai and based off an anime. I'm just thankful it's not an arena fighter. It looks pretty good, but hard to get a feel for the gameplay from the trailer. What I am excited about, however, is town building, baby. Oh yeah, please handle it well, don't make it boring. Anyways, I don't know if I'll have time to play this, but if Bandai send me a review code, I may make an impressions video about it, because I'm quite excited. There is a standard edition as well as a collector's premium box edition for the Japanese version, which comes with a novel, a picture drama Blu-ray, don't know what that is, art book and acrylic standee, and our executive producers, they, JCross7776 and Josh Foot, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Revue Starlight El Dorado is a brand new visual novel from Frontwing. I believe it's based on an IP set in the musical world, but aside from that we know nothing about it. It has pedigree though. Frontwing generally make really good VNs and I'm confident this will be alright. There is an affordably priced standard edition as well as a really expensive collector's editions, which probably won't be worth it since it contains a ticket to go see a live show or something like that. Hanaemu Kare 2 and Bloom is another brand new visual novel that the world knows nothing about, aside from it being an otome, and that you can be different protagonists who have different love interests. It has English, and I think it's going to be one of the more obscure imports around. But our executive producer Feig has chosen this as their pick of the week. Blue Fire. Now this may not be that interesting to most people, and normally I'd put something like this in the Roundup section because we already have this in the West, but I'm not 100% sure on this and preferably it needs to be verified, but I believe this will have a more updated version of the game. And it also includes a free DLC on the cartridge, which is kind of like the level maker or something like that. So I did order this myself, and once it arrives in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to say what version is on the cart. Is it more up to date? Is it more good for preservation? You can wait for that, or I suspect other people online will know before me because they can afford priority shipping. I can't. So yeah, look forward to that. Some convenience store, quick shout out to this, which already released in Asian regions, but is releasing in Japan this week. It has English and is a visual novel mixing with business management a little bit. Pretty good. Japan is also getting these 3 other games, none of which have English. Now, before we go into the community spotlight section, I want to give you guys a heads up about another great deal PlayAsia have got going on. They are doing the 3 for $100 deal again, which means if you want to save money, especially on some bigger titles, then it's a great time to do so. I made a whole video about it on Physical Paradise, but for example, if you click the link below, you will see that there are thousands of games eligible in this 3 for $100 deal. Not all of them are great deals because they jacked up the price on some of them just for this, but my personal highlights would be Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Mario and Luigi Brothership, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. The Japanese versions, which they do have English, they are part of this deal. So if you're like me and wondering why Nintendo would charge $60 for Donkey Kong when it's the 3rd time they're trying to sell it, well, now you can just get it for $33 US. That is a much better deal in my opinion, and it's the same with the other games. Check the links down below to see them all. There are a lot of games. Just be careful, cross-check some prices or, previous prices or what they've been. Shop away. I think this is only going on a few more days. I can't remember exactly. Alright, the community spotlight. Sieg sent in this photo with a nice import haul, at least mostly. Japan has been kicking ass with box art recently. Umbra Claw, Bow, and Wargroove all look fantastic. Andrew R sent in this photo with a North American deluxe set of Nintendo World Championships. You can see just how shiny that cartridge is. Olaf's Domain sent in this photo picking up Shadows Over Loathing, which looks like a great game. They recently had a reprint of the first game, but I think it sold out again. Dennis and Vicky picked up one of my favorite collector's editions, the Void Terrarium one. It's got some really nice stuff in there, it's just a shame it's a bit flimsy. Kevin W sent in this photo with some lovely Trails games. It's the JRPG train that just won't stop and comes with an impending dread that I will never catch up. Ashura G got all in the mood for Princess Maker 2 Regeneration. Actually, the 3rd game is also on the Switch, but it doesn't have a physical release, sadly. Maybe I can make that happen one day, I don't know. Executive producer Ishin sent in this photo picking up the Japanese exclusive of Yakyu, the latest game. I just wish one of these, just one of them, would get translated to English someday. Executive producer Vei, my man in Japan, sent in this photo picking up the latest Japanese goodness. That's an interesting Tokyo Chronicles Collector's Edition. If I hadn't read the name, I would not have guessed it was for that game. Executive producer Cartoon Soren showed off pretty much all of the PlayAsia exclusives aside from one. I think it's RXN Raijin, which is by far and away the most difficult to get a hold of these days. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo picking up some really nice imports. Actually, the Shin-chan game, it was just announced to be getting a limited run release, but they didn't state as to when pre-orders would start. Executive producer Precision Play sent in this photo picking up a bunch of lovely visual novels. Sadly, most of them do not have English because Entagram can't be asked. It's just a treasure trove that shows that if you think we have too many VNs, Japan is literally drowning in them. Vast Neon sent in this photo with some limited run pickups including Quake 2, which VGP finally got some copies in, including the Big Daddy edition, so if you missed out on that, go check it out. R Luna sent in this photo after they completed their Xenoblade Switch collection. As much as I like the artwork, I think they've done a poor job differentiating between the sequels. Like if you're glancing at a store shelf, if they still exist, like they don't stand out from each other, you know what I mean? Mickey McFlynn sent in this photo picking up the European Ace Combats. Now, I don't know why North American Bandai lost the arm wrestle for that one. Surely they'd have been more pumped up to have jet fighters. American. Evil McLeod picked up Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, which the more I hear the name, the more I want to buy it myself. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo picking up Nocturnal, which feels like Pix and Love had a much quicker turnaround time for this one compared to what they usually do. It's only been like a few months. Visipan sent in his photo, which includes Heart of the Woods, which will be in my visual novel rankings video, maybe it'll be this week, and it's surprisingly highly ranked for a Western VN. Usually they are looked down upon, but this seems to be a nice Yuri VN that everyone enjoys. Alright, let's have a roundup. Yum Yum Game Game. Bunny Bear. Skip to the End. Trufflas. Gundam Wing Zero. Radio to Rancid. Adamantium. McLaren. Paul S. Robin H. Bill R. Rune Espa. Habs. Kresalak. Alright, please send me your pictures on Twitter if you can. DM me at SoWhatAboutGame. If you can't or you won't, how about the email address switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com and our Discord. The server link should be below. Please submit it in the submissions section once I open it up. Alright, yes, thank you for watching. Special thanks as always to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, Jcross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Raven Knight, Fawn Metaluna, Issa, Vey, Offbone, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Viz, and Lewis K. Plus you. Yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, what an absolute legend you are. If you did, please leave me a cat emoji in the comments in honor of the inexplicable excitedness for Cat Quest 3. I don't get it, guys. Why aren't you picking the big booby game?